Hello and thank you for tuning in to DITV Sports this evening. Although this is not your traditional DITV newscast, we still have all your updates on Hawkeye athletics. Starting with men's basketball, Ben McCollum's squad has landed two major transfers looking to make an immediate impact in the black and gold. On Friday, Illinois State transfer guard Tyreek Coleman announced his commitment to the Hawkeyes. Coleman adds efficient shooting to the program as he averaged 10 points off 50% shooting a season ago. Then on Saturday, the Hawkeyes gained a much-needed asset at the center position in St. Mary's transfer Andrew McKeever. This past season, the 7'3" California native averaged 8.2 points and ranked among the nation's top 25 rebounders, averaging 9.2 a game. Both players have at least 2 years of eligibility left on the table. And after falling to Indiana twice in Saturday's doubleheader, the Iowa softball team took revenge to close out the series the following afternoon, defeating the Hoosiers 4-2. Tori Bennett drove in the Hawks' first run of the game with a double down the right field line, with Leah McAnally driving in the second run with a drive up the middle, and the Hawkeyes continue the rolling with Nylan Marshall and an RBI from her as Mariah Myers poking one out to right field to score Iowa's fourth and final run of the game. This was a much-needed win for the Hawks as they briefly escape their current slump, and Iowa will take on rival Iowa State this Tuesday. Well, Iowa baseball was also at home over the weekend, taking on the Maryland Terrapins. After their Friday game had to wrap up on Saturday, Iowa got off to an explosive offensive start, run-ruling Maryland 14-4 in 8 innings. They turned right around that same Saturday where the offense didn't have exactly the same jump off the bat, but still winning 5-2. However, everything completely turned as the Terrapins got to Iowa's pitching staff and they won the final game of the series over Iowa. And with the Iowa Heartlanders concluding their 2025-26 season and suspending operations indefinitely, they leave behind a small but loyal fan base searching for what's next. DITV's Ryan Paris was at their final home game.
For one last time in the Extreme Arena, the Iowa Heartlanders fans and players left it all on the ice. It was an emotional farewell to a team that had called Coralville its home for 5 years, but it was also an existence marred by low attendance.
People don't know what's going on. You can talk to people here in Coralville and they don't even know that there's a team here.
While most people will focus on what the team didn't do, attracting the local college crowd or winning at a consistent rate, there are still a group of loyal supporters hurting from the team's loss. They supported the team through their best days, including their playoff appearance in 2025, and their worst, as the team finished 29th of 30 in the ECHL this year.
I've worked for a lot of teams, I've rooted for a lot of teams. This might be my favorite team ever.
Iowa isn't known as a hockey state, and for many Heartlanders fans, the team acted as a vessel to introduce them to the sport. For others, it was a way to create a local tie to the game.
We got my dad a sweater for Father's Day like before the first season began, so since before day one.
Iowa doesn't have a pro sports team in any of the major leagues, with the closest NHL team being the Chicago Blackhawks, over a 3-hour drive away. Even the Extreme Arena where the Heartlanders play is located off campus from the University of Iowa, and getting transportation to and from a game can end up costing more than the ticket itself.
While it had been a tumultuous season for the Iowa Heartlanders to this point, they still gave the fans a grandstand finish they were expecting.
Though the Heartlanders had blown multiple third-period leads this season, this time the team rallied from 2 goals down in a third-period comeback. And throughout the game, there were tributes to the team's broadcaster, David Fine, their PA announcer, and their superfan, Mark Corver.
I don't think I'm anything special. I'm just a guy that likes hockey, and occasionally in the second period, I let the opposing goalie know he's a bum.
But in overtime, it took just 24 seconds for the Bloomington Bison to end the Heartlanders' storybook farewell, leading fans to cope with the inevitable, the end.
I came out here because I fell in love with this team, and it's really that simple.
Some fans are still holding out hope for a return in the 2027-28 season, while others believe this suspension signals the end of the road.
Well, the Heartlanders head into an uncertain period where the team's future is in doubt, but one thing's for sure, these fans truly care about their hockey team. From the Extreme Arena, Ryan Paris, DITV Sports.
Well, moving on to some big news out of Iowa tennis. On Friday, head coach Sasha Boris became the program's all-time winningest coach. With a 4-3 win over the Minnesota Golden Gophers, Boris grasped her 113th career win, etching her name in the Iowa record books. Iowa then failed to pick up a win over number 29 Wisconsin. The Hawkeyes now sit at 11-13 on the season and 5-8 in Big Ten Conference. And the Iowa track and field team continues to shine as yet another record was shattered this Saturday at the Tom Jones Memorial Invites. Sophomore Chioma Nakwichu clocked a personal 51.24 in the 400 meters, resetting the school record as she finished 5th overall in the 400-meter invite, on track to break her record once again. When asked about her performance, track and field director Joey Woody said she is very close to breaking 51 seconds. She is progressing very well as we enter the championship portion of our season. Thank you for joining us here on DITV Sports. You can catch our team live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Tomorrow morning's broadcast will be dedicated to the Iowa City shooting that occurred early Sunday morning. All of us here at DITV are keeping Iowa City and those affected by the shooting in our thoughts. Stay safe, hug your loved ones, and as always, go Hawks. Thank you for watching.